Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte. We are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Our next guest, you know and love from Fanboys, Balls of Fire, The Goldbergs, more recently, The Walking Dead. He's got a podcast, a couple of awesome comics to his name, and a little movie out right now called Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That's right. Jacob Kowalski himself, Dan Fogler, is here, people. How about that? How you feel about Dan, huh? Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're going to bring him out in just a second. But before we do, I believe we have the trailer for the flick. So let's go ahead and run that clip. Ladies and gentlemen, do it up. Make some noise. The great Dan Fogler. Here he is. It's for you. It's for you.
For me?
It's for you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness.
I always feel strange on these chairs. I always feel like I need a banjo or something.
Yeah, right? Well, we're going to bring a banjo out in a little bit.
You want to do a little Simon Garfunkel?
I think so. That's the second half of the show.
I'll do the really high part.
I'll do the really low part.
Perfect.
There we are.
That's perfectly.
Dan, welcome back to Build, man. It's so nice to have you here. I heard it too. I don't know what it was. I don't
know what's going on over there.
How are you doing, man? You got so much, this amazing film. You're on one of the biggest shows on television. It must
Where am I? There I am.
You are. You're on here. We got you.
I'm over there.
It must be a crazy time to be you right now. How is life for Dan?
It is wild, man. It's like a perfect storm of, right now, it's Fantastic Beasts, and then my episodes on The Walking Dead are coming out, and then I even got the holiday episodes on The Goldbergs coming out.
I was gonna ask if you're
So it's like, holy man, this is like, November is my month, damn it.
Dan Fogler month.
Mine.
Here we are. We're celebrating Dan Fogler month together right now.
And you can't have it. Wait, is this the camera?
I don't know which one's live. That one right now.
That one. It's my month. And you can't have it. I'm not gonna smell my finger.
I didn't want to step on the character.
Whoa!
Oh no!
Jesus. I'm not even that much of a maniac.
It's fine. It's fine.
Look, we have people coming up.
There is an entire crew.
That's
There's a
amazing.
pit crew in a panic right now.
That is
towels,
hilarious.
Additional
I didn't
water.
get wet at all.
It's fine.
You guys didn't realize it was going to be like SeaWorld up here.
We handed out a tarp to the front row.
Yes.
That's the splash zone.
And then we're going to smash watermelons.
You got to be ready for those things. It is live. We're live.
Yeah, it could be like
any of this could happen.
It could be like Gallagher at any second.
Exactly. That's all right. So times are good right now.
Yeah, dude.
I really want to get into this movie and talk a lot about it. I got a chance to see it, and I really enjoyed it, man. And I loved seeing you in this movie and seeing Jacob back again. For you, was there less going into this, less pressure maybe than the first one? Now that the world is set up,
that's exactly it. Yeah,
and that's how it was. Yeah.
Thank you for.
I was going to stop as soon as you. Yeah. No.
Yes. The first movie was like, it was a lot of pressure. You wanted to get it right for everybody, and
it's a huge deal.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that that I wasn't gonna screw it all up, and then that could have very easily happened, and then in some parallel universe, and then but everything went okay. Everything went really okay. People dug it and dug the characters, and the chemistry was working, and so going into the second one, I felt like. Did you go to college? I felt like a sophomore coming back to college, and like I kind of knew people. I knew the ropes. It was like it was really fun to be back, and I felt like really comfortable. Yeah.
When you talk about that fear of screwing it up and messing it up, is that something that you commonly run into? Is that like a Dan thing? As you get a new role, you're like, oh, I don't want to mess this up. Like,
no, you go into it like you go into it genuinely like I really want to knock this out of the park, like every time. But you never know what's gonna happen. It's alchemy, man. You can do your best job, and then it gets into the editing room, and then for some reason it's just like, man, we lost all those good takes, or something. Like how they say like your best takes end up on the cutting room floor sometimes, and so you have no control. Once you there, you hope that. Thank God I'm in a franchise where we have an Academy Award winner in every single department, so we're in good hands, and I feel like David Yates really. I found the excellent director who is, and I had a really perfect, juicy part for myself. so he can get like a really nice performance out of me, and I think it shows, man. There's a lot of elements that go into it.
How does David get that performance? What are the conversations you're having? What are the little nudges that he's giving you in either direction?
Mostly, this is my impression of David. He's like, Dan, that was fabby. It's fabby. I loved it. Take it down 97%. Fabby. Let's do another. And then he's off, and you're just like, wait a minute. Did he like it? I don't even know if he liked it. You know?
97%.
Yeah.
Give me 3% of what you just did.
Yeah, because I'm obviously, I'm from the theater, and I'm obviously like shooting for the stars over
You're
here.
playing to the cheap seats.
Yeah, exactly. And he likes to take my, he's a very like quiet, and which is amazing to have this kind of a captain steering this enormous global franchise ship. So he makes it seem like we're just here doing an intimate movie with each other. It's just an independent film, and then it's just like major, massive moving parts, and it's
on
amazing.
A giant reconstruction of early 19th century Paris or whatever, 20th century Paris. There's independent movie with just tiny thing. That's a very important skill set as a director to create that vibe on such a grand scale on a project this large. Because then you kind of see that. You see everyone's passion. You see everyone just kind of having fun making this film. Did working on this and sort of working through that pressure and this big fan base, did that sort of help you when you got to The Walking Dead at all? Of just here's another biggest show on television, huge fan base, very passionate fan base. How did were you thinking don't mess it up again, or were you like, all my training has led to this? What were you thinking when you walked into that?
I will, but 1 second. Don't you want to be like, hey man, hey, over here, man. Am I the only person? Johnny, they're taking a picture.
They're taking your picture. I didn't know. That's the only one I didn't realize the camera was on the other side.
And they took the picture and they were like, actually, I love it. You know what? Everyone's wondering who's this guy.
Brave choice. I like it.
Genius. So, I was genius. I was in the what is that? Young Frankenstein. I was I was in The Walking. Yeah, I did this. I did
you
this.
Were afraid of going into The Walking Dead?
No, it was an easy transition actually, because I was, relatively, but if I was like, this is a major giant franchise, I have done that, yes, and so then coming into this one, it wasn't. I was just really excited to be there. I'm a fan of the comic book. Read the comic, and I have gifts for everybody later for anyone who asks a question. People asking questions later.
Questions, in a little bit. Yeah.
Everyone asks a question gets a fun gift.
You're the best guest. You always bring fun little gifts.
I am the best guest.
You are the best. All right, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you with my love. Keep going.
It's fine. That's a song.
Interrupt you with my
Can we get that banjo?
It's the banjo's coming. Those are the towels. They're on their way.
And we'll do it into the great wide open homage with death. We'll jump onto this camera and hold on. You know what I'm talking about?
That was perfect. If I could get that again, but just 97% less.
Fabby, and then he's off. Damn you. That was a good reference.
Sorry.
It's really cool to be on The Walking Dead, man. Because I read the comic book. Luke exists in the comics. To play someone who is like, for a fanboy, is like so cool to be able to do that. And I get to ride horses. You ever ridden a horse?
I've never personally.
I grew up in
horse.
Brooklyn, man.
Yeah.
Like
so you rode them all the time.
No, man. I'd see a horse and just be like, don't hurt me, But the only memory I have riding a horse as a kid, I was like 5 years old at some fair or something in Queens or something, and I was sneezing the whole time. I just was sitting on it. I was just like, get me out of here. And then on set, I was very nervous about it. And then I had this mantra in my head. I was just because what I tell my daughters is, if they're ever around any large animals, I'm just like, if you're calm, they're calm. If you're cool, they're. So I had that in my head. I was like, if I'm calm, he's calm. And man, I kind of put myself in this zen place, riding these horses. I don't know if people ride horses out here.
Hands, horse riders.
No,
what we got?
Here we go.
We got 2.
Yeah,
we have 2. We are in the middle of Manhattan.
To
be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a bunch of them by Central Park, but they're all just kind of, come on. But they're kind of all upset about it. But
So
the
far,
ones
you've
out on
introduced. So far, we've gotten "Don't Take November, It's Mine" guy. We've gotten "Scared of Horse" guy, and now "Horse" guy. I am enjoying all of these characters.
But they're all the same, aren't they? It's
No.
grumpy
we
guy.
run back tape. You will see these are 3 fully fleshed.
Get off my lawn, guy. That's
That's
why
similar to Horse
why do I
guy.
keep turning into
That's
that?
a similar guy to Horse guy.
It's true. That's what I'm saying.
That time it was.
I'm gonna try and switch it up.
No, I like what you're doing.
All right, I'll
you know
just
what I
keep
got in your head? I'm sorry.
No. Get in there, man.
All right, yeah, just poke around, see what's
You
going
be
on.
my Tyler Durden.
Let's do. Oh,
Let's get weird.
I'm so sorry that I'm your Tyler Durden.
It's okay.
Ed Norton got Brad Pitt. You got me. I am so sorry that I am your Tyler Durden. But a hell of a
come
duo.
on,
You
love
give us
yourself.
a banjo. Put on a hell of a show.
banjo.
All right, so you're riding horses. You're
And I loved it, man.
You're loving it. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like being in a Western, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a post-apocalyptic Western. I love zombie movies. I get to be in basically the longest zombie movie that's ever been made. It's so cool. You get to kind of act out. Everyone has this fantasy of like, how would I be able to survive if everything went, you know, if the apocalypse happened, you know? So this is it's interesting and it makes for a lot of great dialogue and you know, the stakes are heightened and my character Luke he's a music teacher and his thing was that like he seeks that scholastic structure, you know, where so anytime he goes around during the apocalypse, he's collecting instruments, whether it like kills him or not. Yeah. You know, it keeps him sane, and he has that's his hope that one day he's gonna have all these instruments, and he's gonna be able to teach a music class again, and so that's a really lovely character to play.
Working on a show like The Walking Dead or in a movie like this, I feel like both instances they go to great lengths to create a sense of immersion for the performers. You know, you're actually riding the horses. You're out there in the heat. You're living it. Over here, they have these amazing sets and things of that nature. And I'm curious. I want to talk to you about the creatures in this film because I was reading and I thought this was awesome that in a lot of instances. There's real live puppeteers and there's real live things for you to interact with. There was, I think, for the sniffler, I want to say there, it was a little bag of marbles or something to like hold, so you would have all these different things. For you as an artist, as a sculptor, when these big puppets walk out, did you just take a moment to kind of get in there and look around and like admire these different things and see how it all worked and sort of appreciate it from that angle of like someone who also creates and molds and sculpts and makes these 3-dimensional things?
Oh my God, yeah, I can't help but be just in awe. Like Jacob being able to go down the rabbit hole and be with all the wizards and the creatures and everything. That's like Dan walking onto set and just being like, oh my God, they built New York. And it's next to Paris, and you know, I'm just in awe of. I'm like a kid in the candy store. So, yeah, the guys from Warhorse build the elaborate skeletal puppets of the creatures. Everything is green screen friendly. Yeah. They have the puppeteers who act like the creatures, which is amazing. You know, because usually it's just the creature's head, so you have somebody on a stick just being all. You know, and you're just like, yeah, all right, good boy, go. You know, and Newt's always interacting with with the creatures, like in that first one with the Thunderbird. Newt is like, that's such a great moment, man, and Eddie is able to just make it look all real. The imagination and the puppets and the CGI, it all just blends together.
There's a great moment right in the beginning of this film, and this isn't spoiling anything, where Jacob is kind of descending into the menagerie, and there's like a creature, and he could not care less. He's just like, I've got my own problems. He's just like, Jacob is just like,
oh, the augury.
Yeah. And it just kind of sets up where Jacob is.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And I'm wondering for you, was it exciting now that that's sort of established in this film? You get to just sort of explore Jacob a little bit, his relationship with Queenie and all this stuff. Going into it, were you really excited to get to do that?
Yeah, man. He gets to it seems like what the natural progression of their relationship would be after 6 months of suddenly his memory's back, and now they're on the run, and they're having the kind of conversations and arguments that they would have, and that's really great to play those scenes. Um, yeah, it is fun. Jacob's a little bit more put together. It's like, yeah, in the first movie, he's got like mismatched socks and his ill-fitting suit. And it was like very Chaplin, to me. And this movie is like Queenie is just like, we're gonna get you a nice outfit, and it's like it's her influence. And Colleen Atwood did an amazing job. Like these amazing spats are built into the shoes, and man, it was so cool to wear that stuff. It's so informative. And then once I got the mustache on and the hair to the side, and they had the hair like perfectly coiffed, it's amazing. You really feel like you're transported to the 20s.
Where do you pull from as we sit here and I jokingly refer to Horse Guy and Don't Take November Guy, but like where do you pull from when you're becoming Jacob, when you're finding Jacob's voice? Like what guy are you trying to make there? What are you doing?
Yeah, that was easy, man. That was like, yeah, once I get that mustache and the hair to the side, and like that's basically it. Like
voice,
it's and that voice is. I thought they were gonna make like when I was first doing it, they got the part, and I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? You want to do like a Luke Costello kind of thing? I can do that. And they were like, no, man, just just David Yates was like, yeah, he's just like, yeah, just be yourself. So I turned up the Brooklyn a little bit. He probably sounds like what I used to sound like in high school or something when I hadn't gone to college yet and gotten some of the Brooklyn out. So I throw in like little old school New York things, like he says nickel and bottle, and it's like, so that just is a little peppering on top of the accent, but that's it, man. He's like stepping into the shoes of an ancestor. I've said this many times, but my great grandfather was a baker on the Lower East Side. Basically we're in the same exact spot in the movie. I get like a gift from the universe. I'm basically getting to step into my great grandfather's shoes and play this part.
Were you growing up? Were you a big Abbott and Costello kid? Did you watch a lot of those movies?
I loved
a little bit of the
all
show
the black and white
Yeah.
movies. Abbott and Costello, all the comedic timing. Who's on first? And Laurel and Hardy and Chaplin and Buster Keaton and specifically the Marx Brothers. You look at Harpo Marx, who's just doesn't say a damn thing in a movie where everyone's saying a lot. I mean, and he just stuck out to me. I was like, that guy is brilliant. They were all brilliant. Yes, I love all those movies. All those and specifically in the first movie, they went that way, officer. That's like all that stuff, like all those bits getting into the suitcase, and were all homages to those old school, elegant black and white movies.
Which is pretty awesome too, because it fits in. All of it just makes sense. The sort of roots, the comedy even of the time as well. Like in a way, even though they,
I almost did it again. I was gonna punt this water, man. I was gonna it's gonna get crazy. I'm just gonna move it all the way over to here.
Go for it. Go for it. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I definitely want to make sure we have time for the audience. But you're working on so many great things. Another great thing surrounding this film is the audiobook that I was looking into.
Yeah, Makers, Mysteries, and Magic.
Oh,
it's out today.
It's out today as well, and it's so cool. It's almost like a podcast, audiobook, audio documentary. Like, it's this crazy thing that I was like, it's almost crazy to call it an audiobook. There's so many amazing things that I haven't seen before that you guys are doing here, this like sort of mashup thing. Whose idea was that, and did you have a lot of fun making that and putting that together? Like,
I did. It's from the Audible people. Brilliant. I've never done one of these things before. I was so honored to just be a part of it. And what it is, it's like basically in your ears, I take you on a personal tour of the behind the scenes of the making of this movie, essentially. So we like visit, Stuart Craig's, department where he builds everything. We basically visit like every department. You learn like fun facts like about Jude Law, like he based his like wand work on Picasso's paintings, and it's like it's amazing, and it's really they use their sound effect skills to make you really feel like you're there. Yeah, it's really fun, and I'm zany, of course. I'm doing like impressions and everything. And the whole cast basically comes in and says something about the characters. You get a little something from everybody. It's really, I mean, it's a wonderful holiday gift.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you channeling any of your experience from the Dan Fogler 4D Experience podcast? Were you?
That was the greatest segue I ever heard. Yeah.
I'm gonna cover everything you've
That was
ever
great,
worked on.
man.
You just wait, man. I'm gonna do it.
I'm actually going to. So I got this podcast. The 40X people are my sponsor. They give me tickets to go see these. I'm gonna go right after this. I'm gonna go see this movie in 40X with a bunch of people. It's really fun.
That's meta as hell when you think about it, because 40X is about making you feel like you're experiencing the movie.
Yes.
You are in the movie.
Oh yeah.
So no one.
And I'm gonna be like on the screen, and then I'll be like in the audience, and then some crazy person will be eating their popcorn and be like and just be like, it's gonna get crazy. We'll open up a portal to another dimension, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
To the fourth dimension. So watch my podcast, or actually hear it, which is what you're supposed to
Feel it.
and feel it in your chakras. That's my that's what I'm here for.
Always hitting you in the chakras. I told you in the agreement. I wrote this down, and like I said, I'm going to get to everything. And this is the wrong card. But in addition to the podcast, the shows, all this stuff, the movie, of course, you, sir, are an awesome writer. You've got Brooklyn Gladiator. You came here to talk to us a little bit about that when that was out. And I saw Moon Lake Omnibus pre-order. It's on December 4th. Just really quick, what's going on with you in writing right now?
That
What's
was
going
the
on with you?
second greatest segue I ever heard. Yeah. This guy is rocking out to it. This guy loves this song.
It's a good song.
You gotta think of the next verse, pal.
Yeah.
Write it and tweet it at me.
We're going to throw some banjo under it. It's going to be a hit.
We'll fix it in post.
We're live.
Yeah, man, I'm writing. Brooklyn Gladiators out. Chapter House is Jay Baruchel's company, who we did Fanboys together. He was like, hey, man, let me publish a bunch of your ideas and books. And so I got the Moon Lake Omnibus coming out. That's like my kind of like Twilight Zone-y kind of series. That's going to be a big volume that you can use to defend yourself in dark alleyways. And
Or read and enjoy.
yeah, sure, you can do
That
that.
too.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yes, it is a physical weapon, I
guess.
suppose.
Yeah. Brooklyn Gladiator is my dystopian future. Actually, I have gifts here. I will be able to, if they want.
And that is the third greatest
segue
segue.
I ever heard.
Because we're going to do audience Q&A right after this.
I'm sitting on a stool and I wish I had some kind of wind instrument. Well, that was very. I want to thank Jack Black's influence on that last 5 seconds.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you. All right, you know what? You and I are going to end up doing this all hour. Let's get some audience questions in here, and we'll fold in
Yeah, let me get
some of the
my-
other stuff that's going on.
let me
First
get my gifts
question
ready.
is going to be right here, it looks like. Go for it.
Yeah, Dan, you guys have kind of discussed all the different things you've done, different media, but other than the banjo, what would you like to try out career-wise?
I never said I wanted to play the banjo.
But we're
I know
getting
we're
it.
gonna do
We're
it.
I
getting
said, could we get a banjo up here? I wasn't gonna play it.
There was an implied desire. There was, it was suggested.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt my fingers. There's a lot of hurting with the
Do you want to
fingers.
answer and then I'll distribute? Is that, or do you want to distribute? How do you want to do
Man,
it?
I'll do it.
You'll do it. All right, I'm going to
to
sit here. I'm going to shut up and let you have your show. So,
So wait, what was the question?
I mean, podcast, writing,
Yeah.
movie, TV, that's not any of those things would you like to give a go?
Right. This
know
is
if
like
there's
Jeopardy. What is? Let me think here. What would I like? I would like to learn an instrument. I don't know if it would be the banjo, because the fingers, like, I was trying the guitar. I was like, man, my fingers are hurting. There's blisters on my fingers. I didn't want to do that, but I would love to play. I'm kind of good on like the bongos. Like if there's a drum circle, I'm like, yeah, I can get down with that. So I feel like I could take that to the next level of like drumming. I want to try that for sure. With a segue?
Oh, for the segues.
there you go. Crushing it. You got natural rhythm.
I do have natural
Your
rhythm.
IMDb trivia said you played in the band Second. Help me out
Second
here.
Rate.
Second Rate.
You know, it's so fun. Yeah, Second Rate. I love that.
Yeah. What did you?
Because there was only 2 of us in the band, and we'd come up. And we'd just be like, we are not Tenacious D. And in a moment, you will find out why we are second rate. And it was, an inside joke that was hysterical. But we rocked the house, man. We basically, we made everyone's expectations lower, and then we just, blew them away. Yeah.
They do it. It's classic. Under promise, over deliver.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is she the recipient of a gift?
Good call.
I see a
That
pile.
was the 4th grade. Okay, do you want a comic book, or do you want, do you have kids? Because I have these, fun Lego pouches of Harry Potter characters. Do you want this instead?
It's okay to want the Lego
Whatever
pouch
you
even if
wish.
you don't have a kid. I just want to
It's
put
a
that
choice. Make the choice. This is your Sophie's choice.
out there. That took a turn. I think you get the comment. Jeez. We've got a few more. We've got 2 more. We're going to do another question. Next question is coming
Enjoy.
from right over here.
Hey, Dan. Thanks
Hello.
for being here.
Sure, brother.
Also, really love the energy. I was just wondering, you got fantastic beats under your belt, right? And, yeah. And it's just, it's
What do you
insane.
mean?
You got a world.
Not literally. Stop saying literally like that. No one knows what the word literally means anymore. Okay, go.
You got a world, and it's crazy, and there's magic, and there's everything happening in the corner, right? And then you've got Grindelwald, and you got everybody coming at you at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're in for the ride, and here you're a nomad, right? So, how do you bring in kind of a realism to that? How do you ground your character in a world that is going crazy? And aside from it being a magic world, it's a magic world on the brink of war. How do you ground that?
I like your energy, man. That's good energy, man. Yeah. Wow. But you know what? Yeah, I'm a nomad, but aren't we all nomads? Deep down, literally, that's how you use the word. This guy's a nomad, that guy's a nomad in real life. Yeah. That's the beautiful thing that kind of ties us together. So when we come on set, I'm like, oh, that guy's just a nomad, and that guy's just a nomad. Oh, that guy is an Academy Award-winning nomad. But, everyone's all extremely magical in their own right. And so when you get there, yeah, you can let it, I see it as this massive global size franchise of a wave that's coming that you can either be like, oh my God, that's going to swallow me up. Or you can learn to surf and be like, wow, that is the greatest, gnarliest, awesomest wave that's coming. Let's have a fun ride here. And that's where I'm at right now, thank God, with my my philosophy. Yeah.
That was a great
Thank
question.
you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for that.
man.
Thank you for your energy.
Yes, thank you.
How many?
He gets a gift.
He gets a gift.
Hey,
yeah.
do you want a comic book or do you want one of those little pouches?
You're bringing out the pouch. I'll take the pouch.
Whoa! I have terrible aim with my left hand.
We
Sorry.
have 1 question left. You think you have terrible aim? You want to know something incredible? That's our
She was
last. She's our last question.
I'm a little psychic. I just
Just a
wanted.
little bit psychic.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Just a
and you
pinch.
probably want one of those, right? Or do you want the comic book? Oh wow! See.
Only a little
wasn't-
psychic.
Exactly. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'll throw this at you though, and it'll hit him.
Okay. Hey, so
Yeah.
what advice would you give to aspiring actors and actresses?
Yeah. Stick with it. Never give up. There's so much media out there. There's so much going on exponentially. This is the golden age of television. Everywhere you look, there's shows that you have to binge that you didn't even know you needed to binge. So just keep at it. And someone will put you in something, and that work begets work. And that's my probably the biggest advice I can give someone. Never give up. Never surrender.
That's as great a place as any to wrap things up.
All right.
First of all, thank you guys for being an awesome audience and hanging out with us and asking great questions. I do believe we're going to get you a comic book.
Yes.
So don't worry there. While you're giving that out, I will remind everyone of the plethora of projects you've got out there right now. You got Walking Dead on AMC. You've got
Here you
The
go.
Crimes
Come
of
on up here.
Grindelwald is out this week and is out right now. You can also
Enjoy
check
it.
out the audiobook. What's the full title of the audiobook?
Makers, Mysteries, and Magic.
Makers, Mysteries, and Magic. You've got the podcast. You've got Brooklyn Gladiator. And you've got the Omnibus coming on December 4th. What don't you have? You've got so many great things. And you've just given us 35 minutes of awesome time together. So thank you, sir. Thank you. I
Thank
hope
you,
you had
brother.
fun.
That was fun.
Everybody, make some noise for the incredible Dan Fogler.
Yeah!